Right, for the rest of the card, apart from the main event, we shall begin with Silva versus Keith Jardine. Now, the interesting thing about this is that a lot of people who are seeing Jardine as an up-and-coming person are saying that he will win this bout. Silva's record, 31-8-1. Jardine's record is 13-3-1. And if you actually look at the ratios between, how they win and how they lose, the ratios are very, very similar. Jardine could be thought of as a sort of a younger version of Silva, and Silva has a 3-loss streak. However, I think the experience, and I think the fact that he desperately wants and desperately needs a win, and the fact that he's just I think I know that he's quite a committed Christian, and so I have decided that I will support Silva. I also think that he will win due to the experience. He's a TKO specialist, so although I expect it to be a stand-up war, this one, I do think that the KO will happen. I am going to predict the second round because I think that Jardine will probably last for quite some time. So that is my prediction there. Tito Ortiz and Lyoto Machida. Okay, I predict a bore for this one. I predict this to be the rather tough event, if you pardon the pun. Ortiz, whilst he's had a very good history, is the Ken Shamrock waiting for retirement, really, isn't he? And he's not going quietly into the night. He's a little bit like the Hillary Clinton of the UFC, I feel. He is probably on his way out. Hasn't beaten sort of anybody of any particular value in a long time, and is sort of on his last legs, I feel. Machida is not really anybody who's interesting to watch either. He can dance around for 15 minutes, barely touch somebody, make one strike, and knock them out. I'm probably going to go. I do think Machida will actually win this bout. I think it will probably be the nail in Ortiz's coffin. Maybe that's hope, I don't know. So instead of a decision, I shall go for a TKO, probably a stoppage. I don't see it as being a direct KO. And I shall go for that in the third round by Machida over Ortiz. The next match, which is Wilson somebody or other, and Gorvin somebody else, I'm not interested in. I have heard from the forum that the latter is something special, but yeah, well, I haven't heard about it. Thiago Silva and Antonio Mendes. Okay. I found it quite interesting that Antonio Mendes is part of a European top team. I didn't know there was one. I knew there was American, Brazilian, and I knew that there was a French top team as well. But European top team, well, there we are. His record 14-2, and Thiago 12 and unbeaten. Both of them are TKO specialists. Silva actually usually wins in his first round. I'm going to go for a TKO in the first, therefore, over Mendes with that one. Ivan Saliveri and Rosimar Pulvaris. Ivan 12-6. Pulvaris 7-1. Ivan has a long history with the UFC, going all the way back to number 37. He's not been subbed. I am going to go for him via a submission in round 3. I haven't put which submission I think I'm going to go for. Pulvaris is a submission specialist, all kinds, and he knows what a leg lock is. But I'm still going to go for Ivan with this one for some reason. I don't know why. That one might be the big boob that I've made there occasionally. I've only just written this, and 5 minutes later I cannot understand the logical deductions I've made from A to B. There we are. Romeo Soko, whatever. It's going to be one of those nights. And Kazuhiro Nakamura. Okay. At first, when I saw this, and I saw Nakamura was 11-7, and the other one was 4-2, I immediately thought, oh well, this is a can for Nakamura. However, I had discovered that Romeo is from Team Quest. He has only had 6 fights, during which time he has competed in Pride, he's competed in the UFC, and he's competed in WEC. That is an amazing achievement on your record, as well as training with Team Quest. I don't know if this is accurate, but according to Sherdog, he has actually knocked out one of the Nogueiras in only his 4th fight. So I am definitely going for him. I'm definitely going for him a KO in the 1st, because all his fights seem to end in the 1st. The only thing I would say is that I hope he watches out for the other guy's judo, because obviously with throws and stuff like that, that could be the one flaw, I think. Rich Clementi and Terry Eatim. I actually saw Terry Eatim a couple of weeks ago. He was the referee that kept getting lost between the Olympia Theatre and the Octagon during the Cage Gladiators event. I didn't realise he was only 10-1, which is actually quite a good record. Clementi 31-12. I am supporting Clementi. I like Clementi. I have to say that I don't actually want to make a prediction on this one, because I do believe that they are both, one of them, looking at the records, statistically is going to get choked out in this, and I don't know which one. I don't know. I don't think Terry Eatim's been submitted before, whereas Rich Clementi does, but then of course his record with 31, well, it's 3 times, isn't it? Winning is 3 times the amount that Eatim's done, so I'm not going to even predict. John Copenhagen and Yoshiyuki Yoshida. I'm supporting John on this. I think it's going to be a stand-up war, and I'm going to say that I think it goes the distance. I think John will win by unanimous decision after quite a hard-fought stand-up war. The Jason Tan and Dong Hyun Kim, I'm just not interested in. And the final bout of the night I'm going to call as my upset. We've got Christian Wellish, 8-3, and we've got Shane Carwin, who's 8 and unbeaten, and we don't really know much about him. In fact, there is not even a picture for him on Sherdog that I could find on his main profile. He's a submission specialist, and he's never gone out of round 1. Christian Wellish, TKO and submissions, and he knows how to do a heel hook, which might be his only defence on this one. I really feel that Carwin will produce a submission in the 1st round, probably an RNC, and I feel that it will shock the world, basically. So that will be my prediction, and that really completes my. I'm being annoying tonight. That completes my my predictions.